Hi, everybody, and welcome back to La Capricornia with me, Priscilla Moreno. So, you guys, I'm gonna give you guys the message for this week, and then I'll do your reading at the end of it. Okay, so make sure you stay until the end. Okay, you guys, so I want to talk about how your past is not you. I want you to be able to finally say, hey, I am no longer this person. I am not what I thought. I am no longer this cycle. I'm going to finally close the door on whatever this story is. And I really do think this is a time for us. I know for me, I really had to stop talking about, even like situations that have happened to me. Hey, they happened to me. I did the healing, I did the work, I learned my lessons, and then I feel like I'm totally done with that, chapter in my story. I was like, okay, I'm good with this one. Let's go on to the next one. I definitely feel like that's where I am at now, and I feel like that's something we're all going through right now, right? And it can be scary because, again, even though we leave things, sometimes we're still stuck with that trauma, right? We're still stuck with the memories. Sometimes we put things on people that, don't belong to them. You know, I hear a lot of people, especially like in the dating scene, say, like, okay, if you're going to come into this relationship, do not put your past trauma on me. Makes total sense, right? And that can be hard because, especially depending on what you went through, like that was your experience. It was what you went through, and it doesn't matter how, bad it was or not that bad or whatever. It was still your experience. Like it's still a trauma for you. And it's something that you have to let go. You have to let go of that story to be able to move forward. Because then, let's say you're not able to trust anyone, right? What are you going to do? You're not going to be able to trust anybody. And, people feel that, definitely feel that in relationships, friendships, family, whatever that is for you, whatever situation that was. And it doesn't have to be like a situation like that. It could even be like the things you're telling yourself. I think for the longest, I used to tell myself, hey, I am this person. I'm never gonna do certain things because, hey, this is as far as it's probably gonna go for me. I know the biggest thing for me was like even school. I used to really have like this whole thought in my head of like, hey, I need to be able to get here, I need to like finish this part of it. And I know one thing that definitely helped me out was my mentor. I actually did ask him, like, hey, where do you see my top off? Like, this is where I want to be at. This is what I have. Like, where do you see me? Like, at this point, I might have to go back to school or I might have to do something. Or, like, what can I do to get over that bridge? And he kind of looked at me and he was like, I wouldn't have, for number one, thought it if you hadn't told me that you did it, that you felt that way. And he's like, and second of all, like, you're totally fine. And he explained how he was kind of in the same situation, and even just explained in general, like, the way that my path is set up and the way that I'm moving, the way that I'm doing things. I'm totally on that right path. I'm heading up there, and he sees that for me. And, it definitely made me feel better because I know that was like one of my things. Like, I kept feeling like there was a roadblock because I didn't do this. And the minute he kind of told me that, it gave me that confidence, right? I definitely see it more attainable. And one of the things to manifesting, you guys, is you definitely have to feel it. You have to believe in it. You have to want it. The only thing I can say though is don't ask for specific things though. Make sure you like just ask for things openly, right? So instead of saying like, hey, I want this, golden pen. Don't ask why I said that. We're just going to go with it. This golden pen. So that's what I want. Like I'm manifesting it. It's what I'm hoping for. But then I'm like, okay, what if I just say I want to be guided to the right outcome, right? I want the right kind of thing. And maybe, hey, this thing that I priced so much is not the answer. What I really needed was this golden laptop, right? Because maybe in a couple years we're never going to use pens again or something crazy like that, right? So all I'm saying is ask for your best outcome, and be very open to how things may come for you. It doesn't have to be down a specific path, and I feel like you're only limiting yourself the more you tell yourself, like, hey, this is, my top off. This is as far as I can go. This is how you are. This is who you are. And that's not true. We're always changing. I think I've mentioned this before. Like, there have been times where, like, I know for sure how I thought when I was younger. I would not have thought that I would have thought any different at that time, right? Even like right now, you can only think where you're at, right? So then now being where I'm at, I look at myself and I'm like, why did I think those things? Why did I think this was okay? Why did I have that like messed up attitude about certain things or life, or be proud of things that like now I'm like, God, that only hindered me. That, I've mentioned this before, like in my videos, like I remember kind of like joking around saying like I had a cold heart. And just that's who I was at that point, right? And I was kind of like proud of it. And now I'm like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want that. And it's not about like finding love or certain things. Like, just in general, just like my own happiness. Like, I don't want a cold heart. Like, I want to be warm. So I want to be loved. I want to be, the light. And if it's not for anyone, it's even for just myself or my kids. Like, that's what I want. Like, I don't want my kids thinking like, oh, my mom has a cold heart. And like I said, it's all mental things we tell ourselves, these stories that we have. And like I said, at one point I was proud of it, and now I kind of look at it and I'm like, how dumb were you? Which again, shouldn't talk bad about myself, but the past me, you guys, was not the best. And so that's like, I think part of the things, like, I think sometimes we're so focused on things other people do to us, which are important. Again, if this cycle you're closing out, it has to do with another person or an experience that you've been through, or maybe even like the type of things you were doing, understandable, right? But if this is like a mental thing, like you can even be a mental thing. And even on that subject of things that you're doing, like I feel like I am really converting into a whole nother person. I don't know how everyone else is feeling. Sorry, I'm like stumbling on my words, but I don't know how everyone else is feeling, but I really feel like I just shifted my energy, right? I feel like a whole new person. I feel like my routine was disrupted. I have totally changed my routine, and then I was getting a little frustrated because like even my working out routine, right? I always had this routine of like every morning I would get up, work out, do the things that I'm doing, and then go to work, and then spend the afternoons with my children. That was my focus. And the main reason I wanted to do this in the morning was because I wanted to have more time with my kids in the afternoon. Well, I don't know what's been up with me lately. Like, I have just not found the willpower to work out in the morning. So I've just been doing my yoga. We'll do like a quick little meditation. We'll get ready. We go to work and stuff. And then when I get home, I've actually been like, I'll do a workout. And then my son will be home by that time. So then like I'll work out with him. So then we go and pick up my daughter after that, because she gets out after him. And then we come back, and then we've been having practice with her. So I'll do like the first half of my workout with him. And then that second half, they still come with me. Like I do like some cardio or something like that while she's practicing for her basketball. And like, it's a whole different routine. And I've even noticed a difference too in like the way that I've been I've been very different. Like my body, the way that I've been working out and stuff like that. And I like it. It's a change. And I just feel like I needed a routine change. Like it's, I feel like that's very different. I feel in the way that I'm thinking about myself, I can be a very hard person to myself. I was talking to my coworker the other day because he's very similar to me. I was like, hey, you're exactly like me. You don't know how to accept a thank you. You're always looking for the next improvement, right? Like we can never celebrate our wins. And I think that's something I'm getting a little bit better at. Like if I get like a good job, like I can bask in that happiness for a little bit, and it's not just that second. And then I'm like, okay, I know I did a good job, but what did I do wrong? Because that would always be my response. And very serious, you guys, like there's the Capricorn in me, like, wanted to know. And I've been a little bit better of being like, thank you. Like, thank you, and just letting it be, and just being at peace with knowing, like, I know how to do my job. I was on a call with our VP the other day, and some of the things he was saying about the things that have come to this campus and the things that we've done and stuff like that, like, it just felt so good. And I could have sat there and been like, okay, but what else do you need? What else are you looking for? I could ask these questions. And no, I decided to just be like, thank you. Obviously couldn't have done it without my team and the support. And then, I actually enjoyed the good jobs. Like, I'm trying, like, this is something I'm actually, like, it sounds funny, but I'm really trying to do. And it's not that I was, like, conceited or thought I was, like, the best at stuff, but because I've been doing it for so long, sometimes it becomes, like, monotone, right? So then I sometimes feel like, as in, like, yeah, that wasn't that big of a deal, but, how could I have done that better? Or, because I'm just so used to doing it. So I definitely had to learn to just kind of be like, oh, be happy about it. Like, don't look at it as in just kind of like, yeah, it's something I do every Tuesday. Like, hey, look at how far you've gotten, that you're able to do this every Tuesday, no problem. You don't need that support anymore. You're not calling anyone for help or for guidance on it. And it's really nice. It's a really nice feeling to really bask in yourself. So whatever you need to change, and even if it's that, even if it's the way you love yourself. I know one of the things that I used to think about too, like in the past about myself, was just like, certain things. And I've started looking at myself differently, like health wise. And I know I've mentioned this again in other readings in the past, where it's like, hey, you're starting to look at yourself more as in, like, I want to be healthy. Not that I want to look like, the supermodel. Like, I just want to be healthy, And that's been very big for me lately, because in honesty, like, that's my focus. Like, like, actually, taking care of myself, and not doing it because I want to look like, whoever, or be this size or anything like that. Like, that's just my whole mindset. If I end up looking like that, thank you. If I don't, it's not gonna hurt me, as long as I'm here to, like, be healthy enough for my kids, for my grandkids and stuff like that, to see me live a long life and be here as long as I can for their lives. That is the only thing I can ask for. So again, I think we need to really focus on the good that we have in our lives, you guys. And whatever the cycle is that you're closing, go ahead and close it. You are not that story anymore. You're not that person. And it's okay. It's okay. Find the good in everything. Literally find the good in everything. Because I feel that things are starting to fall apart because you have to let go. Excuse me. Okay, you guys. So, gonna go into your guided message. So, we have the Knight of Swords, which I do see you acting a little impulsively. I am actually getting, like, a lot of anger, and I don't know, I feel like maybe something is gonna happen this week, like, that is bothering you. I feel that it's really, I don't know, just something is happening, like, where you're just like, oh, I'm kind of fed up with everything. I'm over it. And it's crazy, but even looking at this card, I feel like that horse is looking at you like, oh my gosh, like, he's going crazy with this, right? Whatever it is, you're going fast with it. You're going swift. You're cutting something off. I don't know what exactly is triggering you, but something is triggering you. It's really strong. Let me pull the next card. Maybe I can get something out of this. So the Justice in reverse. So you feel like you're being wronged. You feel like you're not getting your justice. And maybe, like, that's where you're coming in. And maybe that's kind of what it is. You're just like, ugh, like, I'm not getting what I'm looking for. I'm not getting this justice. Like, things aren't happening right, which is pretty funny, because I just had this conversation with my best friend about how I was feeling about a certain conversation that was had last week. And I was kind of like, I don't need this, but I needed this, and I didn't get it. So I was a little frustrated. So maybe it's just something similar to that, where it's like something's going to trigger you. But like I said, it looks like it's going to be a really huge trigger. I'm not trying to scare any of you. That's just the vibe that I'm getting from this card. It's like an action or something being done. And then, like I said, I feel like this could be mean you're doing something that's not morally correct, but I just think it's more like something is being done to you. that you feel is not morally correct. And, again, that can be anything. Okay, and your last card is the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups. So yeah, I feel like I don't know, maybe you're not seeing the bigger picture with it, right? Maybe you're not seeing like what you could create out of this. Maybe things are kind of, like I said, maybe you're just like, you're going in traction. Maybe it even has to do with cutting off these cycles, you guys. You're just like, I'm just finally doing this. I'm not getting what I want out of this. I'm not getting the justice. I'm not getting, the love. I'm not getting the respect. I'm not getting, anything out of this. Like, I'm not getting like this justice. You're just going straight into like, I'm out of this. Whatever this is that's triggering you is just having you say go, run. And I think you're not, at this moment, you're probably not seeing the bigger picture of why this is triggering. I feel like things are being removed from you. So like these empty cups, there's a reason why these cups are empty, right? Because you're being given one maybe filled with gold, maybe a better opportunity, and you're not seeing it. You're just kind of in your feelings. And even his face, I'm kind of getting almost kind of like I actually get more of a relief. I get more of a relief of just, I think you're looking at the cups as in like, I'm done. I'm over with it. I'm like over this thing. And you're just kind of think like you're creating your own cup of what you want and what you want to have. I do feel that. And you're like manifesting this. Whatever that cup is, you're manifesting this. But you're completely letting go of whatever this is triggering you. And, one thing that I will say, you guys, is sometimes we need things to trigger us for us to finally let them go. Sometimes I feel like the universe is like, okay, like, Priscilla, you won't let this go. Well, I'm going to have to tear it from you. And unfortunately, that's where we end up in like the bad situations or things where we know deep in our hearts things are done and over with, or maybe are just not the same anymore. But yeah, we're just still holding on. I think that's also been the theme in some of my readings too. Okay, so for your guided card to help you guys out with this is the Miracle of Prayer. Thank you, Saint Dolphin, for delivering my prayers to heaven. So again, I do think that you need to ask your guides, which is funny because that was actually one of the, a similar card I pulled for the November reading was, hey, your guides are trying to help you, but you're not really letting go. I think you need to ask your guides like, hey, help me with this and really let it go. On top of this, kind of like I said earlier, I think we need to be able to let it go without expecting a certain outcome. I know sometimes we have that thought as in like, please, take this off my hands and give me, I don't know, a porch, right? And it's like, really, like, this is what you're asking me taken out, but you're asking for this in reverse. Instead of asking for something very specific or for a certain situation, maybe even a change, maybe you were asking like, I just really hope this person realizes this, or I hope the situation changes for the better. Whatever it is, like, stop asking for specific things to happen or for what you want to happen to it, and ask for the best thing for you. Sometimes it isn't what we exactly want, and we realize that later on in life. Again, the card of not paying attention. So maybe this is where we have to ask like, hey, I just want the best outcome, whatever that is. I just want the best outcome. And I think that's going to be like a really good guidance for you guys. Okay, guys, so that's the end of my reading. As always, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on my other social media so you guys can keep up with me. Have a great week.